Hello, my name is Tracy Castleberry. I am a Master's of Instructional Technology student at Kennesaw State University. This is my capstone project, which is titled iPads for the Visually Impaired. The problem or need that I faced with this capstone is assistive technology for visually impaired students. My son is visually impaired. He has a visual acuity of 20/70 corrected with his glasses. And this year was the first year that he was given a Visio book. And a Visio book is this computer type thing that sits on his desk that helps him with magnification. And it has a camera that tilts to look at papers and at the board. It's very bulky. His teacher says that he almost needs his own desk, like a separate extra desk for it. And when I saw that, I thought, you know what, there has to be a better way. So after talking with the teacher for the visually impaired, she said that a lot of times the students are self-conscious. They're embarrassed to use the assistive technology because it's so big, especially as they get older. So I thought if I could implement a different type that would be a little bit more portable and draw less attention from their peers, and I immediately thought of iPads because iPads are sleek, they're small, they'll be easily carried around, and even for younger students, the teacher would be able to keep up with them fairly easily. The need that the students, I was hoping the students would address with the assistive technology is reading, magnification, and seeing the board in their classroom. So my plan was to target the 3 students that qualify for vision services at Carmel Elementary School in Cherokee County. This would be grades 3, 4, and 5, and have use of an iPad for reading, magnification, and assistance seeing and reading the board. And the implementation will take place early fall 2015 to winter 2015, 1 hour per week per child under the guidance of the teacher for the visually impaired. Multiple apps and features will be used, and the iPads will not be taken home. The data was not collected in the course of this capstone experience, so the teacher for the visually impaired informally discussed the implementation plan with the students, classroom teachers, and the candidate. And if data had been collected, I would have done 3 surveys at the beginning, middle, and end of the experience. The first one would have been a needs assessment. The middle one would have been something to where I could tweak the program if needed. And then the final at the end would be the takeaways from the use of iPads to support the visual needs. So the supplement the current bulky assistive technology, it was not meant to replace it, but only to add something new to see if we could improve student learning this way. Dome magnifiers, Visio books, and other such assistive technology tools can be combined seamlessly with the use of an iPad. The iPad can be used for magnification, reading, viewing hard-to-see content on the board, and note-taking in various situations. The 3 students had visual acuities of 20/70, 22/50, and an unknown acuity, but it must be at least 20/70 to qualify for vision services in the state of Georgia. And what that basically means is if you take somebody who is correctable to 20/20, which is perfect vision, even with glasses or contact lenses, somebody with an acuity of 20/70 could see at 20 feet what you or I could see at 70 feet. So that just kind of gives you an idea of the of what visually impaired is. So the child that was serviced that has the visual acuity of 22/50 can see at 20 feet what I can see at 250 feet. So this does significantly impact the education of these students. The apps and features used would be the iPad camera, used mainly for taking pictures of the board so the student can enlarge the picture. The Big Magnify app was to supplement or replace a Dome magnifier to magnify worksheets and other written material. The Kindle app by Amazon was used for reading ebooks, PDF documents, and reports of documents taught by students. This was very, very useful for the older student who was in 5th grade because he was able to type up a report on the computer, email it to his Kindle, address and actually enlarge the print to where he could read it very easily. And he was the one with the 20 to 50 as well, so he was the one that needed the most help with enlargement. So this was very useful for him. And he could actually highlight and make notes in the Kindle app, which was very good. The Notability app was used for note taking with or without the use of a stylus. The younger child, the third grader, he struggled with the use of the stylus. I was kind of disappointed because I was hoping that it would help with the handwriting, because visually impaired children often do have issues with their handwriting legibility because it's hard for them to see what they're writing, and they often write very large, but it didn't really help. And I think that might have been, he is twice exceptional, this child, and his ADHD as well. And I think it might have been kind of a combination of the two issues, and it wasn't something that really worked out the way I wanted. But there was an audio feature on Notability that was very useful for with the student that has a higher degree of visual impairment, because he could make audio notes and play them back and not have to read. The Reflection app was the last app that was used, and it was used to mirror an iPad or iPhone screen on a computer. And that was kind of handy because then that could be broadcast on the Promethean board, which is like a smart board, and then the whole class could see what they could see. So trials and tribulations. Lack of buy-in from the district and school was the main challenge faced. The district does not see the need for change in the current assistive technology methods used. So I kind of had to use a backdoor, since I couldn't get the iPads in a traditional sense. I couldn't get them at all. Two of the students had their own, and then the teacher for the visually impaired had hers to use as well. So I worked around it that way. All three of the students reported the use of the iPads made it easier for them to complete the schoolwork and preferred the use of the device to the traditional assistive technology methods overall. The youngest student in third grade, he likes his Visio book, although he did like using the iPad as well, but I think the Visio book at this age kind of made him feel special, and he likes having it on his desk. But I think as children get older, that will kind of fade away, and the iPad will be much better for them, just from not getting the looks from the classmates. The teacher for the vision impaired reported the students seemed more at ease and comfortable with the iPads. So that was all very good, and that worked out very well. So the ISTE and PSC standards, digital learning environments, and that includes most definitely assistive technology for students with disabilities. Professional learning and program evaluation. I was constantly learning and thinking on my feet and changing things and doing research and figuring out different ways to approach things. And candidate professional learning and development. These were just some of the ones that were extra special close to my heart as I was going through this, but of course there were others as well. The candidate considers the project a successful endeavor, but more buy-in from the county and the school would have made it even better. So the bottom line is the students were able to use the technology to improve their learning and assist them while adapting to their disability. And it's not like an extra thing. It's more of a thing to level the playing field for these students, because especially the student with a 2250 acuity, that is a real issue for him to overcome every single day when he goes to school. The project will be presented to the school and the county, so they have the opportunity to study the research and consider making even a small change. And I would consider it a success if they piloted the program at one school with a couple of students, because it really did seem to make a difference. And I think sometimes change is hard to accept, and that could be for teachers, that can be for administration, that can be for technology staff, that can be for everybody. But I think that the iPad would be a definite upgrade to assistive technology, and it's not that it would have to replace what they use now, it could be used in supplement. And my copyright acknowledgments: Apple, Amazon, Big Big Magnified Notability Reflection, and then, of course, Georgia Professional Standards Commission, the PSC Standards for Structural Technology. And that does not include all the sources used to complete my reports, which will be listed on my Weebly page, my portfolio under Capstone. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.